You're listening to the Corbett Report. CorbettReport.com.
Good evening, friends. Welcome one and all to Corbett Report Radio. I'm your host, James Corbett of CorbettReport.com, coming to you as always from the sunny climes of Western Japan, here on this Tuesday night edition of the broadcast. And once again, since I'm in Japan, I always tend to get those dates confused. But thank you once again for tuning in tonight. It is great to have you here. And for those of you keeping track at home, this is the 177th original broadcast of this radio program. And tonight's broadcast is provocatively entitled, Why James Probably Will Not Sign Your Petition. And tonight we're going to be talking about solutions and the nature of real political solutions to the types of problems that we've documented here at length and ad nauseum, and which I still think is important to do on a regular basis. We have to understand the enemy and the way that we are being attacked in order to have any hope whatsoever of actually changing the system and affecting things for the better. But having said that, we also have to be aware of the types of false strategies and false solutions that are often propounded and dangled out in front of us as a way of distracting us from the type of actual hard work that comes from true political change that will be the real revolution that really affects society. So, unfortunately, there are a lot of, I think, false ideas and blind alleys that we are led down and we are led to believe will somehow ameliorate our condition or make things just that much much better. But and I can tell you, as someone who operates a website along these lines, of course I get lots of emails from people suggesting various things, and I try to look into them all, and I put my support behind those things that I think are important and are doable and are interesting, etc. And there are a number of limitations to that. Of course, I'm just one guy, and just with this little radio broadcast, I can't do everything. But I certainly do try to put my weight behind things that I think are effective, and to try to highlight some of the people out there who I think are doing good work on these issues. But having said that, I think that there are a lot of people out there who are caught up in the game at one level or another. And I think there's a lot of different ways that manifests, and one of them is the ever-popular strategy of the petition. There is, I think, even a growing sense in our current political situation that a lot of people have, that if we can just get a petition going, if we can just get a movement large enough, if we can get just enough people to go to some march in some city, then we can affect true political change. And I'm loath to be the one to bring the bad news, but I truly don't believe that is going to be the path for solutions that we're really seeking here when we're trying to get out of this enslavement grid that's being created around us. So I want to start tonight really by picking up where we left off with Suzanne Posel on the broadcast last night. If you were listening in, we were talking to Suzanne Posel of OccupyCorporatism.com. And if you weren't listening in, why weren't you? But of course, that's available for download from the archives at CorbettReport.com. And in that conversation, we were talking with Suzanne about some of her ideas for true political change and what people can do, how people can affect change in their own lives. And Suzanne offered from her own experience what she does with her family and her home, where, for example, they don't eat the fast food. They don't have a TV. Even they don't subscribe to the cable companies or whatever, put money in the pockets of the people who are there just to brainwash, indoctrinate, and dumb you down. And that is, I think, for anyone who's been listening to this broadcast for any length of time, something that resonates with myself very strongly, because it seems to me that we put so much of our own time and energy into the system to prop it up that we don't realize that we are part of the problem when we do that. So when we get invested in these ideas of petitioning the government for this or that, we are in part investing ourselves in the problem. Let's take a short break. We'll be right back with more after these messages. Welcome, friends. This is James Corbett, CorbettReport.com. What you have just been watching is the opening minutes of last night's edition of Corbett Report Radio, number 177. And for those of you out there in YouTube land who may not know about this, those videos of the radio broadcast are now going up on a daily basis at CorbettReport.com. As well, on a weekly basis, my podcast is going up in a video form as well. And they are not going up to YouTube because YouTube hates me and I hate YouTube. The feeling is most assuredly mutual, and YouTube will never allow me to have videos longer than 15 minutes for whatever reason, and we can all ascribe whatever nefarious motives we we want to the GooTube Corporation. But for those of you out there who are interested in watching the rest of that video and listening to the rest of that radio show, I assure you I have a lot more to say, and if the first few minutes didn't exactly get the point across, well, over the next 40 minutes or so, I give some examples of what I think real political solutions are. So if you're interested, I will direct you, of course, to CorbettReport.com. The link will be just down below in the video information bar. And if you go to CorbettReport.com, you have, of course, all these links that you can choose from. If you want to continue watching the video, you can just click on videos. It's pretty intuitive. And it will bring up a screen very much like this one, where you can go through, of course, all the videos at CorbettReport.com. But the latest one will be episode 177 of the radio show, where you can just click on it and start watching. Voila, there it is.
You're listening to the Corbett Report
on blip.tv, which is where these videos are going. You can also, if you want a downloadable version, you can click on this link and you go into here, and here's the downloadable version. You can either play from here and watch streaming from my server, or you can download or play in a new window. If you just want the audio, you can go over here to radio, and of course here's all the radio shows that I've done in the last little while, and of course all of them are archived here, so you can just again click on 177. Here's the audio, here's the video. It's all here for you. Suffice it to say, lots and lots of information, so enjoy the archives. For those of you out there in YouTube land who don't know about this, all of these videos are available. Lots and lots and lots of video for your viewing pleasure, but just not here on YouTube. So that's all for me today. I'm going to, of course, be back with another edition of Corbett Report Radio very soon, and New World next week. Shortly after that, James and Pilato back from vacation, so I'm looking forward to talking to you again very soon.